Hello, I'm Karen, and in today's video it's a little bit of a change of a plan. I was going to show you how to crochet something else, but I'm not. So today I'm going to actually show you how to crochet this lovely little netted outfit for baby. This is the Antonio Juan doll, which is a 10-inch doll, so this outfit would fit that size baby. This is supposed to be based on a 28-week-old baby. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this is because while I was doing my research for my cardigan, which I was actually going to be sharing with you how to do for the little tiny cardigan that I was going to show you, because obviously we got the whole outfit for the baby. Oops, have disaster there. I actually was, when I was doing my research, I was doing the research for Gobeklitepe. And for those of you that don't know what Gobeklitepe is, I'm just going to give you a quick run through first, so you can skip ahead if you don't want to know the history or behind what's the reason behind this pattern. But for those that are my regular viewers, you know I like to share a little story. So this is an aerial view of Gobeklitepe. This is the most ancient monument that they discovered so far from the human population. And this is an aerial view. Where it actually is based sort of in Turkey. This area that's the sort of paler colour is actually called Anatolia. Sorry about the pink stripes, I ran out of ink while I was doing everything. My whole video was just a complete disaster, but to be fair, what I was preparing. But that's beside the point. So this is actually where it is. We've got the Black Sea over there, just so that you've got a rough location. And these are the overhead images of T-shaped pillars, which look like this. And as you can see on this pillar here, we've got this netted pattern, and we've got this picture of what I would say is a sheep, but somebody's referred to it as a ram underneath. And this is the part of another pillar where you can actually see what looks like English lettering on the pillar. This is that same pillar from the side angle. I can't actually say thank you to the people that actually made these particular photos because they didn't leave their names on them. This one is actually from Penn Museum though. Okay, so thank you to Penn Museum for the picture that you've provided there. And this is also this same pillar from a different angle, so we can see all of the actual lettering on there. Okay, so I just thought I'd just share with you where I've got this from. So when we actually look at this image, we can see that we've got these curved pieces at the top, and there's 8 of those. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and at the bottom we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And as you can see, the pattern started to go a bit wobbly, and whoever was trying to do it, when you actually look at the picture close up, you can actually see they was trying to rectify the mistake that they made when they was carving out that. Now I've actually been crocheting and I can work out how that happens. So what I'm going to do is show you the pieces that I crocheted. Okay, just going to put those to one side, and it's these pieces here. So I've actually crocheted up 2 pieces which are virtually the same. Okay, when you actually look at them side by side, and we can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now they both look very, very similar. And when you're actually trying to draw the actual netted pattern, if you actually get to the third one and come follow the line, it makes it all the way to the end there. And if I start from the third one, it also makes it all the way to the end there. So it's a very deceptive pattern when you're actually trying to draw it, if you're following one that's got a mistake on it, because the natural way of actually wanting to draw something like this is to actually draw your rectangle shape, put all the curves on the top, and then fill in the lines. So if we go back to that image, wherever I put it, just here, this is all perfectly fine at the top, but then it starts to go wrong at the bottom, which to me means that the person who was actually trying to carve the stone was looking at something that wasn't quite right. So when they got towards the bottom, it's like, oh, that actually didn't work, when they was trying to actually fill in those patterns. Okay, And because once I crocheted it up, I realised that it actually made an outfit. Well, you know, the little top, which I was missing the top for this actual doll when I was working it. I thought I would share with you how to actually make it, and to show as well how you can actually make that mistake. I've also, what I've done, I'm just going to show you this one as well, is that you can actually make it into a lot bigger piece, and you can actually join it onto other ones with the actual, the way that the curves are at the top, you can actually join them together, which makes a beautiful joining for clothing. And this one here is like a wrist warmer. I haven't sewed the ending of this one, but I just want to just show you. This one's actually a little bit bigger, but you can see that we've got this lovely join. And if you wanted to, let's just pull those tail ends in. If I wanted to actually wear it as a hand warmer, I could just stick my thumb through at any point if I wanted to be able to do that. So you can actually make that. So it does seem to me that you can actually make some really wonderful clothing from this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm using my number 4mm crochet hook. I'm using the Crafty yarn, which is a cream colour, just because I was thinking that way back then they wouldn't really have particular colours like that. But saying that, they would have had the madder plant and things like that, which could create red, which is, red came from Turkey. So we know. Anyway, so there we go. So we've got a little bit of history about this actual pattern. So to make it the same size as the actual piece of work on the actual stone, we need to begin with a chain of 35. Okay, the reason why is you work this up in sets of 5 and you add 5 onto the end. So I'm going to do the chain 35. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 and 35. The way that this pattern works is we need to count back 10 for this first part, and the easiest way I found to do this is to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, put my hook there just to sort of catch hold of it, and then count the other 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Take the hook back out, and we're going to slip stitch into that 10th chain. Okay, so we made that first loop. This is our odd loop. It's always going to be an odd loop all the way through, but it works out fine in the end, but it just helps you to keep count. Okay, so now we need to chain 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to count along the chain. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into that 5th stitch we're going to do a slip stitch, and then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and slip stitch. I'm just going to get some more yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and slip stitch, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to slip stitch so into the very last one. Okay, so then we've got our little pattern there, and we've got 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. The way that this one works is that in the actual image it's actually got 6 diamonds up and 8 things across. I'll just bring you one over. So what we've actually done, we've actually working this area here, and we're going to work it this way around. Okay, just move that one back out of the way. So we're going to do another chain of, it's always chains of 5 and always slip stitch. Okay, it's really easy. So it's and it looks like I've split my yarn there, so just bear with me while I sort that out. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to turn it over and we're going to slip stitch into the actual chain 5 spaces, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got another bit tangled up there, sorry about that, and slip stitch into the next one, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slip stitch, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch into the last chain 5 space. Okay, so what you've got now is you've actually got this one here, so you've this loop here at the end, this is the loop that you actually did your 10. Okay, and this is the one obviously where you began, and you can see you've got this loop there and you've got that one there. But this one here is going to count as part of the stitch of this bit and also sideways bit, which is how the mistake can easily be made if you lose track of what you're counting when you're actually working. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're just going to literally keep on doing this backwards and forwards, but I need to show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to show you how that as you go up you start to get different size loops at each side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get to the very end. Okay, so when you actually look at it after we've done, so effectively we've got the chain going across, and then we've got one row, another row, and another row, but as we look at it now we can see we've got one little loop at the side there because that loop's going to come over there, but we've got 2 side loops this side, so it's always going to have like a odd. Then when we actually work back, so this row here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as we actually create this loop on this side, we're going to have the 2 side loops, which is where we're actually going to end up building the, in the image it said that these were snakes' heads, which I can understand why they'd think it was something to do with snakes, because you've got the diamond pattern of the snakes in the area. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's lots of images of the animals on those pillars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to get to the end of this row, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you how you actually make the apparent snake's heads at the end. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I know we've only done a small sample to be able to show you, but we've got 2 holes this side and we've actually got our 2 holes at the other side, and I know that this looks kind of a bit wobbly and wonky as you're doing it, but it does neaten up as you do the next bit. So to make these little pieces on the end, what you need to do is chain 3, so that's 1, 2, 3, and we're going to work, it's double crochet if you're in the US, or it's a treble crochet if you're in the UK, then 1, 2, 3, slip stitch back into the same space, and you create your little snake's head, which is actually, if you look at a snake and you think about the stripes and the little eyes, it kind of does. And we'd slip stitch into the next one, and I go 1, 2, 3, work the actual double crochet or the treble crochet depending which country you're in, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into that same space. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work down the chain of the, this is even though we was working and was going up that way, this has now become the side. So we go 1, 2, 3 and slip stitch into that chain 5 space, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into this one, 1, 2, 3, into the next one, 1, 2, 3, into the next one, 1, 2, 3, and into the next one there. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to go into the end one and slip stitch, make a chain of 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we're working the snake's head, or I would say that there was petals to be fair. 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into there, and then slip stitch into the end, 1, 2, 3, double crochet, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, whoops daisy, into there. Now we're doing chains of 3 to work down the side, 1, 2, 3, and we'll slip stitch into there, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, and here we are right near the end, last 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you slip stitch into that beginning point there, and you know that you're right because your tail ends end up, let me just get my scissors, just bear with me, just cut that off. When you've actually got to the correct point, when you're actually doing this, you will always have your tail end are on the opposite sides of each other. By doing the chain of 3, it does tidy up the sides of your actual pattern. Okay, and I know that this is one of my one. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so these are the earlier ones that I was doing. And what I want to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just get these 2 pieces and show you how what you can do with the tail ends is how you can actually join them together. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get them so that they're opposite. So we'll start off so that they're both the same. So you want your tail end down the bottom on one and up the top on the other, and then let's just make sure we've got the difference, and that one's that one. Okay, what we want to do to be able to make them fit together is we want to put them the opposite way around. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just get these ends and you're going to go through this part here into that one, loop it through, and then come through your other part and just get your yarn and pull it through. Okay, and then you're going to work on to the next one and put your hook through there, put your hook through the bottom one, underneath your post, coming up to this one here, and then we're just going to get hold of all of the work and pull that through. Don't worry about if it starts to get tight, because on this what you can do is you can just pull it back. Okay, so when you look at it you can see that you've got the stitch piece there, but when you look at it the other side you've got this lovely curved pattern. Where's my other pieces? Because it's easier to see, you know, because when I changed colours you can see the difference of what happens, of how pretty it looks. Okay, so for the actual outfit, for the actual doll, we only need to do just those 2 pieces. So then what you would then do is then actually move that bit so you're actually working back. Okay, so, and I would want my stitching, which way round is it now? There. So I've done, that's where I was pulling my stitch through. Okay, so this is the inside outside bit. Okay, and then what you would do is for the side is you use the other tail end. Okay, and what you do is you, to start off with, we're going to go through the actual bits where we've actually got the petals or the snake's heads and pull that through. Then you're going to look at your loops that you've got on the end. You've got this funny little loop there and that loop there. You're going to just pull that, and we're just going to do like a weaving backwards and forward stitch. Okay, so we're going to come in there and then come back this way and then do the same. So we're going to get the other side, bring them through, and I wanted to leave a nice gap to be able to put baby's arms in. Okay, so I'm just going to come up to there because this will actually open up a little bit on that stitch even though I've done it. Then what we want to do is we want to work the way back, so we're going to do opposites. So then now we're going to come through this way. Okay, and you do it like that. There we go. Okay, and then you'd come back to this very beginning point there. And what you can do is then when you turn it, I've done one side, but when you turn it the inside out, you can actually see you've got a beautiful join down the side there. You can see that we've got like a lovely little crisscross going off. We've got this beautiful little pattern of being able to join it actually at the top there, so you can actually make yourself fabulous outfits. And what you can do as well is I've got this other piece, because this piece here is obviously made out of this other cream yarn, and I've made some red buttons. Now you're going to say, where did you get the buttons from? Well, that's from the other pattern that I saw on there. Okay, so but the buttons actually is another way that I've just tied these on loosely just to give examples, so you can actually put them through so they actually fit through the actual end piece gaps to be able to fasten it together, because that's if that was tied up properly. Or you could use them at the side so that you can actually do them together. And it made me think that what you can do as well is, let's just get the smaller piece because it's easier to show on a smaller piece. And I'll show you with my hook. You could actually weave a piece of something like a stick or whatever, or you could actually do other bits, but you can weave it through so that you're actually going to make yourself if obviously in this modern day world we've got rods and things for our curtains, but you can actually make yourself some little curtains that would slide open and closed. And if you did it at the same at the bottom, so you could actually do that, so you can actually make very homely things, and there's so many things you can make from this particular pattern. And I just wanted to share that it's possible. I'm not saying that it's a definite, but from what I can see, from what I've done, is that it's very possible that you can make yourself little outfits, all sorts of things from the patterns that they've actually shared with you on this particular stone here. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. The actual buttons, I actually did use my coded method of actually using the letters off the sides of them, and when you actually put them together, because what I do with my coded thing is I break things apart, rebuild it, and you actually end up with, so if you take away all of these, because they're C's whichever way around, the little H's, and then you break it all into pieces, rebuild it, it does create a pattern there which creates a button. So I'm just going to quickly do you a button. Okay, so it probably won't be the best button in the world because I'm doing it really quickly, but the way that this one works is you actually begin, whoops, wrong way around with the hook. I didn't know if I told you, it's a G6 number 4, but we need to do a chain of 5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to slip stitch together to join, and then what we're going to do is use the tail end, we work it in as we go around. We're going to make 11 single crochet if you're in America, or double crochet if you're in the UK. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. Because of the way this one works, if you try and work into that first stitch there to slip stitch, it gives you a bad finish, so we're going to skip that one and slip stitch into the next one along. okay, to give it a neater finish. I want my scissors, cut off the yarn, pull that through, okay, and then what you want to do is you want to just get your yarn through the same stitch you've just worked and pull that through to the back, and then pull it through to the front again like that, and then tuck it through the center of the actual circle, and the beginning tail end, which we worked as we was going around, because it only works if you work as go around, you pull that tight, and then you end up with both of your strands in the middle. This one tighten, this loose one, as you can see, it makes the line. It does tighten up as you actually, when you actually go and tie it up to be able to create the button. Okay, so, and because the button fits, as I've shown, the actual netted pattern perfectly, then to me they actually belong together. Okay, so there we go. So thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for sharing, thank you for subscribing, and I do hope that you actually have enjoyed this random video, and it seems to have gone right, because all my other ones were